Hello. We will be starting the Pee Wee showmanship this morning. And the first class into the ring, we will have Emma Wilcox, Asen Abbey, Bella Birmingham, and Braden Stepler.
Okay, in the north ring, we're going to start our intermediate showmanship. If they would like to make their way into the ring, the judge for the north ring, Kelsey and Karen Mansky, operate East Poplar Samotals at Coronach, Saskatchewan. They sell females at Agribition and the Semi Nation. They are also guest consigners of the Labatt Samotal Bull Sale, which will be held March 6, 2020 in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. They're also Gallagher and Stockdale fencing dealers, and Kelsey is the program coordinator for the Young Canadian Samotal Association. We'd like to thank them for judging our show. First in the ring on the north ring for the intermediates is Jake Gallagher. Second is Shilan Wilton, then Dylan Frey, Ty Nicolation, Emma Faulkner, and Zach Barron.
In the south ring, our judge today is Austin Anderson. He comes from Swan River, where he operates Anderson Cattle Company with his parents, his wife Katie, and his sister Brianna. They are the fifth generation of cattle producers in the Swan River Valley and have been raising Angus cattle since 1933. They market yearling and 2-year-old Angus bulls at their sale on the last Tuesday in March. Austin has fond memories of competing in Manitoba Ag X when he was younger, and we'd like to thank him for coming out this morning as well. Austin will have a little few remarks.
Hello, thank you to the organizers of the Manitoba AgX for having me out to judge. I used to show in this show when I was younger. And this is definitely the best part of the show, watching these young peewees come out here and show their calves. And I think the dads here deserve a huge round of applause for getting these calves ready, because they are dead broke. So we're going to start the class with this young man showing the Charolais bred heifer. Came out into the class and really just handled the heifer on his own. I mean, she's way bigger than him by a long shot, and he had no problem handling her, setting her up, needed minimal help from Dad, so he's doing a great job, and it's obvious he's done a lot of work with this heifer. Following a young lady showing a Black Angus heifer here, and she did a great job handling the heifer, getting her set up, and she told me she pretty much halter broke this heifer herself, so that's pretty impressive. And then a young man showing the black calf in third. He did a great job showing the calf. He answered my questions. He was really polite to visit with, and he loves scratching his calf. And then next we got a cute little lady who's pretty darn happy to get her yellow ribbon, and she did an excellent job leading her calf around and hold on to it all the time and scratching it. So be great to see all these young peewees come out and show and develop over the next few years. So thank you. If you want me to speed up or slow down.
Can you announce when they go out? In first place in the South Ring, we have Braden Stepler. Second place is Bella Birmingham. Third place, Aizen Abe. And fourth place, Emma Wilcox. That was working? Okay. Second class of peewees in the South Ring, we will have Blake Airy, Chance Inglis, Bryn Stepler, and Ivy Allen. You're going to tell me if there's a scratch? We got 3.
We'll have a few words from our judge on the North Ring.
Well, good morning, everyone. First off, I'd just like to thank the AgX for asking me to come judge. I know showmanship is probably maybe one of the most anticipated competitions of the week, especially for our juniors here. We're going to start off the class with the younger with the Hereford heifer. I mean, these two in the top two, very good showmen. I guess getting down to a bit more picky things. You know, you guys are both very alert. You got your calves set up like snap right away. They're always looking good, heads up. The difference between these two, I'd say for the young gentleman, when you're leading your animal a bit, I just find maybe you get a little too far ahead of her. I don't know if you're trying to speed her up or she's not walking quite as fast as you like her, but it's kind of distracting. I'd rather prefer if you maybe stay with her just a touch more. For the gentleman in third, excellent job. I'd say the difference between these top two is maybe just a bit lack of experience. I can tell you're alert, you know what's going on, your calf was always set up properly. Just maybe you don't, not quite as relaxed as the two above, which maybe that, you know, got out here a few more times and you'll be right up there with them. So very good job and keep it up. For the lady with the speckled park, same thing. You did a very good job. You're relaxed. Your calf was always set up. One thing I'd say when you're standing head to tail here, if you could just take a step forward instead of being quite so close to your calf, extend that arm a little bit, and it just profiles the calf just a little bit more. Maybe, you know, gets me to take that extra look at your calf or whatnot. For For these two gentlemen, probably the difference is just calves maybe acting up a little bit more. I mean, these top ones, calves are acting excellent today, and not that that really matters, but when it comes down to the quality, it sure does. So, just keep it up, and next time your calves are acting a little bit better and getting set up a little bit better, it may be totally different results, but excellent class to start the day.
Okay, in the north ring, first goes to Emma Faulkner. Second to Dylan Fry. Third to Jake Granger. Jalen Wilton fourth. Fifth is Ty Nicolation, and sixth is Zach Barron. Once these young showmen leave the ring, the second heat of intermediate showmen will enter in. In our second split of intermediate showmen, first in the ring is Emily Spears, Haley Carlson, Riley Patterson, Brooklyn Headley, and Kennedy Maines. This is your second split of intermediate showmen.
Here's our judge with some comments.
All right, we have this young lady showing this bred heifer again in first place. She came in, handled the bred heifer, no problem, and has it set up, didn't need any help, answered my really difficult questions, you know, what's your name, what's your calf's name, with ease, and generally having a great time. Young lady in second had a calf here that's given her some attitude, but she stuck with him and got him hauled in when calf tried to get away, and did an excellent job showing her calf. And the young man in third has his calf set up all the time, friendly to visit with, handles that calf on his own, did an excellent job, just didn't quite show as the young ladies above him. And then number 70 here came in a little bit late, but once she got in the ring, she handled her calf on her own and had a great time, and had her calf set up all the time. So yeah, everyone had a great time out here. Thank you.
So in the second split of Pee-wees, we had first place going to Bryn Stepler, second place to Blake Airy, third place to Chance Inglis, and fourth place to Ivy Allen.
Couple words from our judge on the north rink.
So starting this class off here, thought this lady maybe came to the top of the class quite easily today. I guess one note for everybody here, when I'm judging showmanship, I think the biggest, most important thing is your animal, okay? We're here to present your animals, not yourself necessarily, while it is important. So I want those animals to come in, and I want them to be set up, and not just kind of set up. I want them to be baying on, or else I want to see you trying to get there. And that's where this lady really excelled. Her calf has been set up correctly the whole entire time. She has her looking really good. She's natural, assertive, knows what's going on in the ring. The lady that follows us up, also an excellent job having her calf set up. Just maybe the lady in front of you, just maybe a bit more confidence and assurance in what she's doing, and it kind of shows a little bit. For the lady in third, same thing. Your calf was set up. Maybe it just gets you to relax a little bit. When you did come into the ring, I saw you had the show cane in front of your heifer the whole time. I felt like she was leading okay, so you can maybe try just to drop the show cane a bit. It is a bit of a distraction for the judge. For the two ladies down here, the biggest thing is there's multiple times I just looked at your guys' calves and they could have been set up better. So, you know, you guys are doing a good job. You're attentive. You know, maybe these aren't your own calves. I'm not sure. Just really try to display your animals the best you can up here. That's what it's really all about at the end of the day.
In the south ring, we have 4 coming back for the overall Pee-wee showmanship. We have Braden Stepler, Bella Birmingham, Bryn Stepler, and Blake Airy.
Your placings from your intermediate class that just left the ring. First, Emily Spears. Second, Haley Carlson. Third, Kennedy Maines. Fourth, Riley Patterson. And fifth, Brooklyn Headley. Coming in the ring on the north ring in the intermediates. First in the ring is Emma Harms, Anja Vandelanham, Mona Vandelanham, Kaylee Margaret.
All right, I'm really happy with the group of Pee-wees I have out here for a championship Pee-wee show person, and they've done an
Cameron
excellent job.
Gilliland and Regan Fry.
And I'm going to go out and shake the hand of the Pee-wee that is going to be Grand and Reserve Pee-wee show person.
Your champion overall Pee Wee showman is Bryn Stepler. Second place reserve goes to Bella Birmingham. Coming into the south ring is the first split of junior show people. We have Jaslyn Birmingham, Acklin Aby, Jessica O'Connor, Chase Airy, Kagan Sauter, and Addison Barnett.
I have a couple words from our judge on the north ring.
So getting into the next class, two ladies here at the top came to probably top of the class quite easily. Lady in first, you know, you're very natural, you're very relaxed, and that's maybe the difference between you two, and maybe that's just a personal preference for how I prefer my show people. Lady in second, you're doing a great job. That heifer set up, you got her attention. She's alert. I guess to me it's a personal thing. You're standing really far in front of her, which is fine. You're being really fast on the show cane. You're trying to get her ears, and to me, at times, it almost becomes a little distracting for your judge, okay? I guess that's personal preference. As the lady in first, just a bit more relaxed. She still always has her heifer looking great. So, but good job to both of you. So keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Lady in third, you came in. You really impressed me. First impression was really good. I guess one thing here it's actually quite a few of you here in the middle. You guys got really crammed up here. So, we got to leave enough room so that the judge can walk behind the other animals and in and out. And also your calf was a little stretched out majority of the time from the profile. Lady in fourth, you did leave enough room here at the end. Maybe just the girls in front, just a bit more experience, a bit more assertive with the way they stand and the way they're presenting their animals. Two ladies here, another good job. Going back to the thing, we're getting a little crammed up here. Even if you guys just want to take a step back in front of your calf and extend that arm a bit, just a better way of presenting your animal. So, but overall, good job, and we'll move on to the next class.
In your third split of intermediates in the North Ring, first, Emma Harms. Second, Cameron Gillen. Third, Kaylee Megado. Fourth, Regan Fry. Fifth, Monica Vanderlundahan. And sixth, Anja Vanderlund. Okay, North Ring in your fourth split of intermediate. First is Megan Beswick, Grace Christensen, Taylor Carson, Cody Carson, and Brendan Allison.
Okay, we had a tough class of juniors to judge today. I'd moved them around quite a bit in my head as they showed. Starting the class here, young man that easily rose to the top. Calf was set up all the time. He had an eye on the judge. Had that calf under control. In second place, young lady, always had that calf under control. A couple times wasn't quite set up as straight as the young man in first. And I think she dropped her comb once. But we got that all sorted out. So that's why she didn't place in first place today. Young lady in third, had that calf under control, had it set up all the time, just maybe not as attentive to the judge as the juniors ahead of her. But still excellent job displaying that calf. Calf always looked great. Young man in fourth, very pleasant to talk to, very, very smooth. And handled his calf almost as well as the people above him. Had a little trouble getting that calf to move around the ring, and wanted to toss him around a bit. And that was kind of the story of the bottom 3 juniors today. Those calves just didn't quite handle as well on the move, for exhibitor 14 as well. And just keep that head cranked up a little more. And then the young lady in 5th, her heifer just didn't want to show today, but she still did an excellent job. She's really nice to talk to, and she had that heifer calf set up as much as she could. But excellent job to all juniors today in split number 1.
So first place in that first heat of juniors is Acklin Aby, second to Jaslyn Birmingham, third to Jessica O'Connor, fourth to Chase Airy, fifth to Kagan Sauter, and sixth to Addison Barnett. Coming into the ring for the second split of juniors is Easton Patterson, Shaylee Wilton, Brody Barnett, Joran Fry, and Sviena Bjornsson.
So I do believe this is our last split of intermediates, and I'm going to assume we're maybe showing a bit by age here. So maybe some of the younger kids in the group of intermediates. The lady with the black heifer I'm going to start the class with. Good job, just you're natural, relaxed. Your calf was set up here on the profile pretty much all the time. Just overall, good job, keep it up. Lady in second here with the shorthorn heifer. Also a good job, you pulled in there. You did a circle, and then you got a little tight in there, so I couldn't walk between. So, little things that, in the moment we just got to nitpick a little bit, but good job, keep it up. Gentlemen, third, excellent job. Your heifer is very well behaved. She's setting up for you perfect, so keep that up. That's right on, just maybe a little tougher when you're a bit shorter to keep that head up when you're walking around, but overall, keep it up and keep getting experience, and you'll be there at the top. Lady in fourth, kind of tough sometimes being the first one in the ring. Your calf didn't want to walk, so it's hard to get a good look. The other thing is, I really prefer that you only hold the show halter with one hand unless your calf is acting up. And I see your lead's a little long to do that, so I would really recommend cutting about a foot of that off and just letting it drop. So, but overall, good class, and I guess we'll have the championship here.
First in your fourth split of intermediate is Grace Christensen. Second is Taylor Carlson. Third, Brendan Allison. And fourth, Megan Bresbrick. Next in the ring will be your champions of your intermediate showman. Okay, for your championship intermediate class, no particular order. First in is Emma Faulkner, Dylan Fry, Emily Spears, Haley Carlson, Emma Harms, Cameron Gilliland, Grace Christensen, and Taylor Carlson. This is your championship intermediate class.
Here is your judge, Austin Anderson, with some comments from the South Ring class.
This is a very accomplished set of juniors. There's just a lot of skill out here. Maybe some of the seniors should come and watch this class, get some tips. Cattle are really well broke. We're going to start the class with the young man leading the black heifer here. Has a real natural presence when he walks out into the ring. You can tell he's really proud of his calf. And there's something when he walks in, he said, look at this calf, this is a winner. And had her set up. We talked about spacing and having that calf step into spot. And for the most part, this bred heifer does that excellent, and there's been a lot of work done at home. Young man leading the speckled heifer here in second. Just didn't step her in as well as above, but it has her set up all the time and moves really well, and it did an excellent job. The young lady in third has this female set up really well in line. We just talked about when she's on the move, getting that head cranked up a little more so that animal moves with a little more presence around the ring. Young lady in fourth, her animal just wasn't quite showing as well as the animals above, and that's why she placed where she was, but she had an excellent job handling that animal, keeping her under control and having her set up. So excellent job. And then the young lady in fifth, she got stepped on, so she's having a tough day, but she's got a strong face on and did an excellent job showing that animal, having her set up and moving her around. So great job to all the juniors today.
In the second split of juniors, we had first place going to Joran Fry, second to Brody Barnett, third to Easton Patterson, fourth to Shaylee Wilton, and fifth to Savannah Bjornson.
So we're going to wrap up the intermediate division here, and we're going to go with the first two that came out of the first split today. These may be the older kids, which in the intermediate division, kind of the experience comes, the professionalism comes as you get a bit older. I mean, these two heifers have been baying on today. They're very well halter broke, they're show broke, they're setting up, they're walking into it. Anybody that wants to be really good at showmanship, that is probably the biggest thing, is the homework you do at home, right? Or maybe it's come bringing these animals for a spin this morning to get them used to the show ring. is I love it when people are able to walk their animals into it. They look more natural, and that's what these two have been doing here all day. So, you know, maybe just a personal preference between you two, but I mentioned some things before in the earlier classes, but you guys are doing an excellent job, and keep it up. And for the rest of you, same thing. Keep it up, get more experience, more practice. Maybe work with your animals a bit more. I know some of you probably aren't showing your own animals, but overall an excellent group of intermediate showmen.
Okay, your champion intermediate showman is Emma Faulkner, and your reserve is Dylan Fry. Next in the north ring will be your first split of senior showman. Just a reminder that the champion and reserve junior, champion and reserve intermediate, and champion and reserve senior showman will all come back to compete for the Grant Moffat Trophy. First in the ring in the senior is Rachel Kuzmar, Talon Frick, Ace Roke, and Orlando Heineman.
In the south ring right now, we have the third split of juniors. We have Thomas Allen, Austin Scott, Rory Mans, Sierra Inglis, Lane Nicolation, and Jesse Wilton. Austin Anderson from Swan River is your judge. Here's Austin with comments on the third split of juniors.
Okay, I spent a lot of time with this class. We talked about spacing when you're pulling into line, and that's going to help you have more room to step your calf into spot. We talked about holding that head up as we're moving around, and then also just feet placement. So the young man in first showing the speckled heifer, he did an excellent job. I didn't quite see him pull into spot because he kind of had the benefit of being right at the back, and I was focused on something else. But when I did look at that heifer, she was set up perfect, and I got that first impression is so important when you're showing, that when the judge comes to look at you and it's your time for that first look, that your animal is set up perfect, okay? And he had that, and that's basically where he won the class and handled the calf fine. Young man in second, leading the black bred, did a fantastic job handling the animal, had his eye on the judge while he was circling, and the bred moved really well. And we just talked about when he was pulling in to make sure that he left some room in front of him so that he could step that animal into spot, and he had her set up fantastic for the majority of the show. The young man showing the Hereford heifer had really nice to talk to. He did a great job setting the animal up. The animal set up square. Just maybe get that animal moving a little freer on the move. He said normally she does move better, and that's why he placed third. Moving on down the line, we talked about feet placement, and just keep scratching your calf while I'm doing this, okay? Because we're still showing. Keep scratching. Okay, we talked about feet placement, and we talked about getting that animal set up square, how to get those lines right, and these three, that was basically my reasoning for where they placed today, and they're going to go home and work and be that much further ahead for when they're showing their 4-H projects in the spring. So thank you to all the exhibitors today, and great job.
So going into our first split of seniors, definitely getting a little difficult here as we go on. I mean, you guys all came in, your calves are always set up, you guys are fast, all that. So, maybe getting to a bit more of the nitpicking and just how the day kind of rolled out. But the girl here in first, very excellent job. I actually don't have a whole lot of constructive criticism for you. You carry yourself very well, your calves very well presented. You did a good job leading the calves, so basically just keep it up, excellent work. For the girl here in second, just maybe a little tough competition today. The girl in first did an excellent job, but so did you. Your calf was set up. You carry yourself very well, so, I don't have a whole lot to say to you either, but just keep it up, and maybe just a little bit of personal preference for me there today. Gentlemen, third, you gave me a bit of troubles. You're doing a good job too. Your calf set up, looking good. Maybe sometimes with your height, I just found if you can maybe hold the calf a bit shorter on the lead rope and maybe just relax your arm a little bit. Something just becomes a little distracting, and I'm looking at you more than your heifer, which is a smaller animal, but good job to you too. You definitely know what you're doing out here, very professional. Your calf's looking good. The girl in fourth here, there's a couple times I maybe would have moved the front legs and the tail was up a little bit at one point, but it's a really stiff competition here in this class, so good job, and definitely nothing wrong with the way you're doing things, so keep it up.
So the winners in the third split of juniors on the south ring, first went to Jesse Wilton, second to Lane Nicolation, third Thomas Allen, fourth Austin Scott, fifth Rory Mans, and sixth Sierra Inglis. And in the ring right now is the fourth heat of juniors. We have Tegan Heinman, Alexandra O'Connor, Madison Robertson, Peyton Aslam, and Kate Nielsen.
Okay, in your first split of senior showmans, first is Rizal Kazmar, second is Alice Roque, third is Talon Frick, and fourth is Oriana Heineman. In your second class of senior showman is Alexa Frick, Laura Timechuk, Jesse Prokak, and Aaron Aaron Beald.
Okay, so we have our, I believe it's our final heat of junior show people, junior show ladies in this class. Starting the class, showing the bred Hereford. Never gave me a bad look. The bred heifer showed really well, stepped in the spot, set up square, proper every time. Following in second, young lady that, yeah, you can just go. Young lady also had that heifer set up square every time, stepped in the spot. Very relaxed and natural on the halter, and really shows that animal to the best of its ability. So easily winning this class. Young lady in third, we just talked about getting that heifer set up over her front end a little better, getting those front feet set back a little bit, and that'll make that animal just profile a little nicer from the side. But she did an excellent job. Pretty strong competitor here in fourth that I'm sure usually does really well in showmanship. She did an excellent job today. Just gave me a little bit of a stretch look there on the first look when she pulled in, but then when I was off somewhere else, she got her squared up a little better. And in this class, just a young lady did an excellent job. Bred heifer maybe just not handling as well as probably does at home, and that's her reason for leaving the ring last.
Thank you much. Perfect.
So I do believe this is our last split of seniors here. Another excellent, strong set of juniors here for the lady in first. Your calf has been set up here the whole time. You guys are very well presented as a group. I like the way you stand in front of your animal, the angles. So not a whole lot to say, but keep it up, and you're doing a good job. The lady here in second, your calf always looked phenomenal over here. You had her set up really good. I guess one thing is when you guys lined up, I would have liked you to follow that lead calf a little bit, and you should have came in a little bit. We got some room. You kind of were a little close to the curtains. The other thing is if you could just take when you're standing like that, just take a step in front of your animal a bit more and extend your arm a little bit. It shows off your animal a little bit more well, and you're looking at the animal more than you yourself necessarily. For the third and fourth place here, the girl here in third, maybe just the draw of the day. Heifer's a little harder to show. She's a little headstrong. She's fidgeting again, but you kept it up. You kept trying. You got her set up. So good job. Just kind of the way the day went for the gentleman here in fourth. Your show side front leg should have been moved back here a few times. And one other thing I had was the angle you're standing towards a judge. I prefer if you straighten out a bit more with your animal, but little things here that we got to nitpick with the seniors just because we got some good quality showmen.
Yeah, overall. So in the South Ring right now, we have the juniors first and second of each split coming back for an overall junior showmanship. From the first split, we have Acklin Abbey and Jaslyn Birmingham. Second split, we have Joran Fry and Brody Barnett. Third split, we have Jesse Wilton and Ty Nicolation. And the fourth split, we have Peyton Haslam and Alexandra O'Connor. This is for overall junior showmanship.
Okay, in your last class of senior showman in the North Ring, first was Alexa Frick. Second was Laura Trenchuk. Third was Jessie Proch and Aaron Peugeot. Next in the class is your champion senior, overall senior showman. So we've got Rizal Kamar and Alice Roque and Alexa Frick and Laura Trenchuk. Just a reminder that the champion and reserve from your junior, intermediate, and senior all come back and compete for the Grant Moffat Trophy.
We have very, very strong set of junior show people out here. I'm really pleased with the group that's out here. I think they represent the future of the beef industry, and their passion is undeniable, and also their skill is very impressive. So with that, I'm going to go out and announce the champion and reserve champion junior show person.
So for your overall junior show person, first place goes to Peyton Haslam, and reserve to Joran Fry.
We're going to go with the 2 class winners for our champion reserve senior showman here today. Doing an awesome job. For the girl, we're going to go here with champion. I guess, you know, you're kind of my definition of what I think a showman should be. It's somebody who's well presented, their calf's well presented. You know, your calf's obviously very well halter broke, it's show broke, it's setting up for you. Just giving overall very good look for you guys as a unit. You know, you're natural. You know, sometimes I find some kids today get a little, you know, quick on the show cane. They're trying to get their ears, which is all great, but at the end of the day, the really, really good showman can do that all without saying much or doing much or not drawing much attention to themselves. So excellent job, keep it up. Girl in second, like I said, you follow her pattern, very similar, which, you know, might be a personal preference, but what's something I really enjoy. Maybe the difference is I would prefer your lead shank to be cut off a bit if I did have to give you one criticism, but good job to everyone, and very good classes of both intermediate and senior showmen over here.
Okay, your champion senior showman is Rizal Kamar, and your reserve is Alex Frick. So all the champion reserves that are in the north ring head down to the south ring to compete for the Grant Moffat Trophy.
So in the South Ring right now is the overall show person. From the junior competition, we have Peyton Haslam and Joran Fry. From the intermediates, we have Emma Faulkner and Dylan Fry. And from the seniors, we have Rael Kazmar and Alice Rook. No. Alexis Frick, sorry.
That's why I don't like doing this.
Yeah, I'll do the like reasons or whatever. Okay, very impressive group of young show people out here. Cattle are stepping into spot. They're profiling. Very impressive for these youth to be out here, and they've done a lot of work with these animals. So without any more, we're going to go out and we're going to congratulate our champion show person overall and our reserve champion show person overall.
So your overall show women today is Peyton Haslam, and reserve is Rael Kazmar. Sorry, other way around. Champion is Rael Kazmar, and reserve is Peyton Haslam. Just want to say a quick shout out for the junior show sponsors. New Rosedale Feed Mill has been in business for over 20 years. It manufactures beef, dairy, hog, sheep, goat, equine, and poultry products, which are sold across Western Canada through a dealer network from northern Alberta into southeastern Manitoba. They have a product line that ranges from vitamins, minerals, and ingredients for on-farm mixers to complete feeds, which can be delivered right to your bins. We thank New Rosedale, and they are proud to work with the AgX in supporting the junior show. There will be a short break in the rings till we get ready for the breed classes. So welcome to the Angus Junior class. In the ring right now, we have the first split of heifer calves. These are calves born after January 1st, 2019. We have Jaslyn Birmingham with TSN Lady 177G. Emma Harms with North Perth Black Cap May 919. Kate Nielsen with Longview Celine 29G. Alice Rook with Red Rook Fashionista 265G. Joran Fry with Fryburn Ruby 79G. And Rael Kazmar with Longview Queen 9G. We'd like to welcome Austin Anderson to the judging ring in the south side. He is from Swan River, where he operates on Anderson Cattle Company with his parents, his wife Katie, and sister Brianna. They are the 5th generation of cattle producers in the Swan River Valley and have been raising Angus cattle since 1933. They market yearling and 2-year-old Angus bulls at their sales on the last Tuesday in March. Austin has fond memories of competing in Manitoba AgX when he was younger, and we thank him and welcome him to the South Ring.
In the North Ring, we're going to start off with our Junior Hereford show. First in the class is the heifer calves. First one is XLP 75Z Marcy 23G from Lone Pine Cattle Service. Next is PBHR Legacy 10W 46G from Kennedy Mans. Next is Arthur 646D 10W Queen 51G from Arthur's Pulled Herefords. And last one in the ring is Alan Hurst, Miss LA 3G from Leslie Allen.
Here's Austin with his comments on the first split of heifer calves.
We start this class with a pair of heifer calves that I think pattern very similarly. They're tough to beat with the amount of rib shape that they're displaying. The heifer in first, I really like the way that her skull patterns. Really a strong skull. She's smooth through her front end. She's got a ton of capacity and shape, and she is carrying some condition, but she carries it well for a heifer her age, and she's going to make an excellent show prospect down the road, and a female after that. Heifer calf in second. Again, very similar heifer, maybe just not as refined as the heifer above her. It's splitting hairs between these two. Excellent heifer in her own right. Following with the red heifer in third. I really like the length of spine of this female. She's smooth through her front shoulder. She's really level across that bottom line through her flank, and very athletic and moves well. And I really like the condition that she's carrying. She's in excellent shape for today. Then the young man with the heifer here in fourth, maybe just not having that volume, that spring as the heifers above her, and but still very athletic heifer, moves well, lots of natural thickness. Fifth place heifer here. It's got great hair condition, and also lots of springer rib, lots of shape. I just smooth out her as she comes in from her shoulder forward. I'd maybe refine that a little more and smooth out that front end just where she ties into her skull. And then heifer in fifth here. Sixth, just not enough heifer to compete with the heifers above her in muscle or in volume and capacity. So that's how I place my first split of Angus heifers.
So moving over to our first class of Hereford heifers here. Starting the class off with a heifer that came to the class pretty handily here today. A heifer, get behind her. She's got a good fullness, springer rib. You profile from the side. She's got length of body, attractiveness, smooth made. Just overall very complete, well put together heifer. The heifer moving into second. Heifer, she's got some depth. She's got some springer rib. I guess just a little concerned about those front legs towing out, and maybe like to change a bit of the structure from the hooks to pins. Heifer in third. Heifer that's very good in her own right. She's long-bodied. She's got that depth that we're looking for. Just a little greener than the heifers in front of her today, and just getting outpowered a little bit.
Our second split of Angus heifers. In the south ring, we have Ty Nicolation with N7 Mary Kate 6G, Lane Nicolation with N7 Mary Kate 2G, Dylan Fry with Fryburn Ruby 62G, Regan Fry with Fryburn Ruby 41G, and Acklin Aby with DJCC Last 25G.
In your first split of Hereford heifer calves, first goes to Arthur 646D, 10W Queen 51G from Arthur Pulled Herefords. Second is PBHR Legacy 10W 46G from Kennedy Mans. And third is XLP 75Z RC 23G from Lone Pine Cattle Service. In your second split of Hereford heifer calves, first in the ring is Allen Hurst Miss Ellie 3G from Leslie Allen. Second is GRHDBK 11E DEW 14G from Chloe Stocky. Next is MHPH HF 646D style 108G from Basil Arthur. Next is XLP 73S Daydream ET 149G from Lone Pine Cattle Service. And we also have HMS High Cliff 112D Jemmy 12G from JRP Herfords.
Here's Austin with his comments on the class.
Okay. Got a class of Angus heifers here. There's about 3 different types and kinds in one class, so they're kind of grouped together. And as I see them, the type of females that I like to see. Starting the class, a heifer with really expressive character through her front. She ties in nicely through her shoulder. She's got that Springer rib I'm looking for. She's got enough volume, and very square through her quarter, and that's very similar to the second place heifer. Very very similar heifers, maybe just not as much pop in her rib cage as the heifer above her, but those two could be flipped probably any other day. Following in third and fourth, couple of longer spined females that are very similar. The one in third just carrying a little more thickness and muscle expression than the heifer in fourth. They're both very athletic, very level in their lines. Excellent females. They're going to be high performance cows and work for a living. And they're excellent females as well. Just not carrying the show appeal and the expression in that muscle expression as the ones above. And then following the class, a heifer with a lot of muscle, a lot of shape, just not as clean through that front end, through her brisket, to place higher today with the amount of condition that she's carrying, but still a very powerful heifer to watch down the road.
Thank you, sir. So coming out of the second split of heifer calves, first goes to Fryburn Ruby 41G with Regan Fry. Second to Fryburn Ruby 62G with Dylan Fry. Third to N7 Mary Kate 6G and Ty Nicolation. Fourth to N7 Mary Kate 2G, shown by Lane Nicolation. And fifth goes to DJCC Last 25G, shown by Acklin Aby.
So in our second class, the heifer calves here, we kind of got two different types going on here in this class. So the two heifers here in the top two placings, we're kind of going to keep those two together, partially for that reason. Heifer calf in first. Heifer calf that definitely, she's very smooth made. She's got that depth of body we're looking for, a Springer rib. I really admire her for her dimension and her muscling shape and quarter. Really type of heifer that we really like. The heifer in second, like I mentioned, she kind of follows that same pattern. She's got that depth, she's got that attractiveness, she's very structurally sound. Only thing is, it's a little less heifer there. The heifer in front of her just really outpowers her today, but a good heifer in her own right. The heifer in third, we really, really like this heifer. Different little style than the two above her. She's got some Springer ribs, she's got some depth, she definitely has length of body, just like to give her a bit more muscle definition and dimension in the back end. Two heifers here as we move on. Heifers that are maybe, not quite as put together. For this heifer here, maybe some structural issues. I like to just maybe clean them up in the front ends and refine them out a bit, but overall an excellent set of heifer calves here.
In the south ring, we have the oldest and third split of heifer calves. We have Northern View Duchess 96G, shown by Northern View Angus, and Northern View Princess 86G, shown by Northern View Angus.
In that second split of Hereford heifer calves, first goes to MHPHF 646D style 108G from Basil Earther. Second is GRHD BK11E Do 14G from Chloe Stocky. Third is XLP73S Daydream ET 149G from Lone Pine Cattle Service. Fourth is HMS High Cliff 112D Jammy 12G from Jesse Proke. And fifth is Allenhurst Miss Ellie 3G from Leslie Allen. Next in your class is your champion heifer calf.
Okay, we have a split of two here, very similar types of heifers. It was tough to split them apart. That's kind of what happens when you have these junior shows and you see a lot of families showing against each other. You get very similar types and ages of calves. So if I was going to split these heifers, the heifer that I placed in first, she's a little longer spined. She's got a little longer muscle pattern through her quarter. Because she's similar thickness to the heifer in second. She just carries that muscle down a little deeper into her quarter. And the heifer in second, she's got a lot of thickness, a lot of power in that area, but she just isn't quite as long as the female above her. Tomorrow these could have been switched. They're so close. So they're both coming back anyways.
So coming into the south ring right now are the first and second place of the three splits of heifer calves. From the first split, we have Longview Celine 29G and Longview Queen 9G. From the second split, we have Fryburn Ruby 41G and Fryburn Ruby 62G. And from the third split, we have Northern View Duchess 96G and Northern View Princess 86G.
Getting the two classes here together for the championship. Very happy with the set of heifers we have here. We got some heifers. They've got the depth, they got the Springer rib, they got the muscle shape and pattern and dimension that we like to see in our heifers. And just overall very pleased with the class. With that, Karen will go select your grand and then your reserve.
In the North Ring, our judges today are Kelsey and Kyron Mansky, operate East Poplar Seminoles out of Court, Saskatchewan. They sell females at Agribition and the Semination sale, which will be March 6, 2020 in Moose Jaw. They also are Gallinger and Stockade fencing dealers, and Kelsey is the program coordinator for the Young Canadian Seminoles.
Okay, we got an excellent set out here for the Heifer Calf Championship class. I feel like they're fairly similar in type and kind of the type of heifers I like to see. There's some age variation in this class, as long as some maturity as you go from the junior division right up to the senior division. So when I'm looking at them, I'm keeping that in mind, that they're not all born within the same week, and that the younger females are going to do some more growing and filling out as they go. So with that, I'm going to go and congratulate my grand champion heifer calf first, followed by my reserve.
Okay, for your Hereford Heifer Calf Championship class, your grand champion heifer calf was MHPH HF 646D style 108G from Basil Arthur, and your reserve was Arthur 646D 10W Queen 51G from Summer Arthur. Next in the ring is your yearling Hereford heifer class. First in the ring is JRPGIA 22F from Jesse Pro. Second is AAMR 25Z Candace 12F from Levi Remke. Third in the ring is Arthur 48Y 22X Luma ET8F from Arthur pulled Herefords. Next in it is Mans Vicky 14Y 11F from Kennedy Mans. Next is RUA B HF 10Y Bonnie 820 from Oriana Hyman. And last in the ring is Bar JM Florida 21F from Tegan Hyman. This is your yearling Hereford heifer class.
In the South Ring, your champion junior show heifer went to Northern View Duchess 96G, shown by Talon Frick, and reserve going to Fryburn Ruby 41G, shown by Regan Fry. Into the south ring is the first split of heifers. These are bred heifers. We have Fryburn Lady 52F, shown by Dylan Fry. N7 Mary Kate 50F, shown by Ty Nicolation. Fryburn Georgina 41F, shown by Joran Fry. And Red Rook Fran 170F, shown by Alice Rook. And here's Judge Austin Anderson on his comments on his first class of bred heifers.
We're going to start this class of bred heifers with a red Angus heifer here that I really appreciate for her extension through her front end. She's really long spine and she's level across that top. She's correct footed. She stands really square. She's not carrying the condition that some of the heifers below her are, but she's still got a ton of shape, a lot of thickness, springer rib, and I'd say she's in pretty fantastic condition actually for today. And she's correct in a lot of ways, and I think she deserves to be in first place. Really powerful bred heifer here in second. She's got a really nice foot structure. She sets it down square and moves really well. She's very powerful. You have to appreciate the amount of shape that this heifer has. I just clean up her front end in order to compete with that heifer above her. She's a little bit chunky from the shoulder forward, but still a heifer I would definitely own if I had the chance to. So Great job by this junior getting this heifer ready. Heifer in third, who's a little greener in her appearance than the heifer in second, but she's very athletic. She's got a perfect foot, lots of heel there, and definitely enough thickness to compete in shape. So that's why I placed her in third. The heifer in fourth, another powerful heifer, similar to the heifer in second. If I was to change her, I might just square her up on the way she's setting that front foot down, and then also clean her up through her front end, but still a very powerful, thick heifer with a lot of shape through her rib cage. That's how I place that class of bred heifers.
Thank you, Austin. In your first split of bred heifers, first place goes to Red Rook Fran, 170F, shown by Alice Rook. Second place to Fryburn Lady, 52F, shown by Dylan Fry. Third place to N7 Mary Kate, 50F, shown by Ty Nicolation. And fourth place to Fryburn Georgina, 41F, shown by Jorn Fry. Second split of heifers bred heifers coming into the ring. We have N7 Mary Kate 6F, shown by Jaron Vandersloos. N7 Black Wood Lady 2F, shown by Lane Nicolation. And Angus Valley Erica 25F, showed by Emma Harms.
Well, we definitely took a couple extra minutes on this class. Maybe, we flip-flopped here a few times between some of them, but this is what we're going to end up going with today. The heifer here we got in first. This little girl's doing an excellent job getting her presented today, so good job to you. This heifer, she walked to the ring and she just caught her eye instantly. She's got that depth of body, length, spring of rib. She's smooth made through that front end and carries that all the way to her head. Definitely probably the most structurally sound heifer in the class today. Moving into second, a heifer, we really appreciate for her depth of rib. What's probably putting her second today, and I'll talk about all these here a little bit, some structural issues maybe just with that top heifer being, sound the way we like them, but a heifer that's, she's wide in her pins, she carries herself very well, she's got that spring of rib we like. Heifer in third, nice dark cherry heifer. She's broody, she's got that look to her. Biggest concern with this heifer is probably the front end, getting a little heavy, carrying a little extra fats up there, just like to smoothen her out, maybe lengthen her out a bit. Heifer in fourth. Heifer we really liked from the profile. You know, she's got tons of barrel in there, which we love to see. Biggest reason why you're in fourth today is we're really concerned about those back feet composition and just the way she's carrying herself there. Heifer we're going to move on to next. You know, kind of the same style as some of the other heifers in the class. She's got lots of width from hooks to pins. She's pretty smooth through that front end. Just when you kind of look at the other development, a little concerned about some of those extra teats there or whatnot. And the heifer that's going to round the class off, just some structural issues with those back legs. They're kind of underneath her quite a bit. But, you know, a heifer that, she's got some shape, she's got some dimension to her back end. Overall, good class of bred heifers.
Here's our second split of bred heifers. We'll start the class with a heifer that wins this class fairly easily. She's got a lot, the most capacity in the class by far. She's got thickness, length, and really ties it into a beautiful front end, beautiful head on this heifer. Really nicely front shouldered. We talked maybe just fixing up those back feet a little bit, but even with that issue, she still wins this class handily. Moving into second place here, heifer with a skull structure that I really appreciate. She's got really great feet. She steps on that back foot like a quarter horse does, and has got a ton of heel. These two, you could probably switch them. There's just something about this second place heifer. If I was picking a cow to keep, I think I would take second place heifer over the third place heifer. Could be the skull structure, could be the way that it's tying in the hooks and pins on the third place heifer that just places her in third place, but they're both very similar and could be switched. So that's how I place this class of bred heifers.
In your in the North Ring, your champion yearling, it goes to Arthur 48Y 22X Luma ET
So coming
8F
out of your second,
from Arthur's both Herefers, and your second is MAR 25Z Candace 12F from Levi Remke. Third is Mans Vicky 14Y 11F from Kennedy Mans. Fourth is JRP GIA 22F from Jesse from JRP Herefords. Fifth is RUABHF 104Y Bonnie 820F Orlando Heidemann. And sixth is Bar JM Fiona 21F from Tegan Heidemann. Your junior champion yearling heifer is Arthur 48Y 22X Luma ET8F, and your reserve junior was MAR 25Z Candace 12F from Levi Remke. Currently in the North Ring is your champion overall female.
coming into the South Ring for the Junior Show champion heifer. We have from the first split, Red Rook Fran 170F and Fryburn Lady 52F. And from the second split, N7 Mary Kate 6F and N7 Black Wood Lady 2F.
Over in the Hereford Championship here, I think we got 4 very excellent heifers here. Heifers that catch your eye. They're feminine. They carry themselves very well. They got some spring of rib, depth of rib, very good hair coats actually too on all 4 of these animals. You know, the 2 champions that Karen's going to go here and pick are definitely 2 that, you know, if we were in the Hereford business too, we'd definitely be looking for if we were looking to put together a set of females. So with that, Karen, we'll go pick your grand and then your reserve.
Okay, I'm happy with the championship class of bred heifers I put together here. There's several different types and kinds represented here. There's a lot of variance in condition and shape and muscle patterning. But in the end, I'm going to go and pick the heifers that I think I would want to own as cows, and then we're going to continue to make me money down the road. So that's what I'm keeping in mind when I'm picking my champion and reserve champion.
In your champion Hereford class, your grand champion Hereford heifer is Arthur 48Y 22X Luma ETF from Arthur's Pulled Herefords, and your reserve Hereford heifer MHPH-HF 646D style 108G from Basil Arthur.
So the other overall champion heifer goes to Red Rook Fran 170F, shown by Alice Rook of Rook Farms. And second place reserve goes to Fryburn Lady 52F, shown by Dylan Fry from Fryburn Angus Farms.
Next in the North Ring will be our junior shorthorn show. Judges in the North Ring are Kelsey and Karen Mansky from East Poplar Simmentals. We'd like to thank them again for judging. We greatly appreciate it.
In the South Ring is the junior show overall champion heifer. From the heifer class, we have Northern View Duchess 96G and Fryburn Ruby 41G. And from the bred heifer class, we have Red Rook Fran 170F and Fryburn Lady 52F.
In the North Ring, our judges are just going to go have quick pictures with the Hereford class before we start into the Shorthorn class.
The same will happen when we're done the Angus class on this side. Austin will make some comments before selecting his champion heifer.
Okay, so got a great group here of females representing the Angus breed, heifer calves and bred heifers. It's different between bred heifers and heifer calves. You can do different things with the hair. They're fed differently. But with that, I'm going to go out and slap my grand champion in reserve Angus female.
So your champion overall female goes to Red Rook Fran, 170F, shown by Alice Rook from Rook Farms. And reserve goes to Northern View Duchess, 96G. Shown by Talon Frick from Northern View Angus. We will take a short break for some Angus pictures and then get right into the Charlet show.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Madison Robertson, and I am president of the Manitoba Junior Charlet Association. On behalf of myself and the rest of the Manitoba Juniors, we would like to thank our buyers and sponsors for helping us fundraise for the next CCYA conference to be held here in Manitoba in 2022. Without further ado, the winner of the $13,052 in our Progressive 50/50 is $1,350 is in our 50/50 is Melissa McCrae. Melissa is an awesome supporter to the youth events. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you. Can you look at who we're looking at?
Okay.
In the North Ring, we're going to start off with our Shorthorn Junior Show with the heifer calves. First in the ring is Headley Jesse from Brooklyn Headley. Second in the ring is NVR Ginger Gilligan 77G from Nolan Vandersloos of New View Ranches.
If you say your names again, his name's Kyron. Yeah, I should have told you that because everybody gets it wrong. Okay, on to the Shorthorn division here. We got two heifer calves out here that, very fancy made, well put together heifers. Heifer here first, just felt there's just a bit more heifer there. You get over the top, she's got some more width. She carries that all the way down to some more width in her pins. Maybe a bit more depth in that heart girth and stuff as well. But, two good heifers that definitely catch your eye when they're out here and well put together and structurally sound.
In this class of Shorthorn heifers, first goes to Headley Jesse 10G from Brooklyn Headley, and second goes NVR Ginger Gillian 77G from Nolan Vandersloos. So your junior champion heifer calf is Headley Jesse, and your reserve is NVR Ginger Gilligan. Next in the ring will be your yearling bred heifers of the Shorthorns. First in the ring for your bred heifers is 3 OD Isabel from Riley Patterson. Next is JT Terra, shown by Easton Patterson. Next is JT Florence, Brooklyn Headley. Next is Little Valley Princess by Sierra Inglis. Next is Up the Creek Cheyenne from Taylor Carlson. And last in the ring is Up the Creek Donna by Haley Carlson. This is your yearling bred heifer class.
We'll be starting the Charlet show once we have a judge in the ring. Austin, I don't know if you, wherever you are, if you're finished, we will start with the Charlet show in the south ring. We'll be starting with the Charlet show with the heifer calves. We'll have JMB Gracie 911G, shown by Madison Robertson. HTA Glitter 960G, shown by Chase Airy. And Hidden Lake My Moo 1G, shown by Zach Barron. If you're just joining us in the South Ring for the Charlet show, our judge today is Austin Anderson. He's from Swan River, Manitoba, where he operates Anderson Cattle Company with his parents, wife Katie, and sister Brianna. They are the 5th generation of cattle producers in the Swan River Valley and have been raising Angus cattle since 1933. They market yearling and 2-year-old Angus bulls at their sale on the last Tuesday in March. Austin has fond memories of competing in Manitoba AgX when he was younger, and we welcome him and thank him for coming today.
We're going to start the shorthorn bred heifer class off here with a heifer that's definitely, she's showy, she's attractive. She definitely caught our eye when she came into the ring. She's got some width over the top. Probably one of her biggest advantages here is she's probably in the best condition out of all these heifers. But a heifer that's very well put together. We appreciate the Springer rib, the smoother through the front end. The heifer in second follows the type pretty well compared to our first place one. She's same thing. She's got that depth of ribs. She's got some heart girth in her. She's got some shape and some structure in the back end. Gets kind of overpowered by that first one. The heifer in third, a heifer we actually really appreciate. And I think, if she had some more condition on her, it might be a different class. She's, generally makeup is very well put together. She's structurally sound, and, we think she could have some potential down the road. The other three in the class here, we'll talk about the fourth place one. Heifer, she does have some condition on her, and she's looking good. Maybe just like to fill her up here a little bit. But overall, she is a good heifer on her own right. The last two heifers maybe could use a bit more condition, maybe getting a little extreme in their type, and maybe a little worried about some of their teat placements. And that's how we're going to round up the class today.
Okay, we're going to start this class of Charlet heifer calves with a calf that's really complete in its makeup and patterns really thickly. She's the longest heifer in the class. She's got the most natural softness through her center, and thickest heifer, I think, in the class too. I like the way she sets her foot down to the ground, and I think she wins this class pretty easily. Heifer in second is a very similar heifer, maybe not as soft made through the center as the heifer above her, and doesn't quite have the capacity, but still lots of thickness and is correct in her structure and moves out really well. Placing third in this class, the Charolais heifer cow is the heifer that maybe just doesn't have the natural thickness and shape as the heifers above her, and but still a long, powerful heifer calf in her own right. It's going to make a great cow in the future. So, good job. We're all really excited. So yeah, very great heifer calf in her own right, and the young man here has done an excellent job showing her. So that's how I placed that first split of heifer calves.
In the north ring, your champion yearling heifer goes to JT Florence, 2F from Brooklyn Headley, and second is 3OD Isabel, 27F from Riley Patterson. Next in the ring will be your overall champion shorthorn female.
In the south ring, the champion heifer calf was Hidden Lake My Moo 1G, shown by Hidden Lake Stock Farms and Zach Barron, with reserve going to JMB Gracie 911G, shown by Madison Robertson Fun Bus Syndicate. In the ring right now are the bred heifer class. We have G Bros Alexis 620F, shown by Cameron Gilliland, and Stepler Miss 98F, shown by Andre Stepler. Bryn Stepler.
Not going to say too much about this championship class of shorthorns here, commented on all of them earlier, but I do want to say good job to these juniors for bringing them out. All the four of these calves here in the ring are very well presented, and you know, at the end of the day, that might give you a little nudge up, so good job on that, and keep it up, and Karen will go select our champions.
Yeah, I really like this class of Charolais bred heifers. They're patterned a little differently, but they're both structurally sound, deep-bodied, thick Charolais heifers. In the end, I went with entry 354. She's a little broodier through the front, which is fine with me. She's going to be a fantastic cow. I like she's a little rounder over the rib cage. She's got a little more springer rib than the heifer behind, and she's smoother from that rib back into her quarter and her rear end than the heifer in second. Heifer in second, you really have to appreciate how smooth she is through the front end. She's really nice, tight-necked, and is going to be a really attractive cow. And she's got a lot of thickness, a lot of capacity, and both these heifers are fantastic females, and that's how I place them today.
In the north ring, we just completed the champion shorthorn female, the grand champion female, belonging to JT Florence Brooklyn Headley. And the reserve champion female is Headley Jessie from Brooklyn Headley. Our judges are just going to take a Our judges are going to just do the speckled park. There's only 2 entries in the junior speckled park.
Champion bred heifer goes to Stepler Miss 98F, shown by Bryn Stepler from Stepler Farms. And reserve goes to G-Bros Alexis 620F, shown by Cameron Gilliland from Gilliland Brothers Charlet. After Austin selects his overall females, we will get right into the Simmental show and do pictures of the Charlet and Simmental show directly following everything. Here's your judge with some comments.
Okay, so I think if this is the representation from the Charlet breed, they got a bright future in the beef industry. We got some structurally correct females. They got a lot of muscle capacity. They're going to have those bull calves that are going to cross well with other breeds and raise those big tan steers that the feedlots are really looking for. So with that, I'm going to go and pick the champion and reserve Charlet female.
On the Speckled Park side of things here, we only got 2 entered here today, and we're going to actually leave them how they stand. So our champion's going to be the calf, and then we're going to go with the bred as our reserve. Looking at the calf, she's got lots of depth of body, she's got lots of depth of heart girth, she's got width over the top, but yet very refined and feminine in the front end. Just looking between them all, we think this heifer calf just maybe has more long-term potential than what this bred heifer has. This bred heifer, you view her from the side, you get behind her, she's got lots of depth of quarter, which we love to see, some muscle expression through there. Just a little concerned about the way her back legs are coming under her, and just like to pick up her pins a bit to square off that hip.
In the Charlet ring, an overall female of the show goes to Stepler Miss 98F, shown by Bryn Stepler from Stepler Farms, with reserve going to Hidden Lake My Moo 1G, shown by Zach Barron from Hidden Lake Stock Farms.
In the Speckled Park, your champion Speckled Park female is Second Chance Gloria 8G from Darling Sauter, and reserve is Redneck 9D Flower Child 19F from Dustin Spencer. That is your Speckled Park show. I'd like to thank our judges again for judging on the North Ring. We greatly appreciate it. And
We will start the Simmental Junior Show with the heifer calf class. In the ring, we have Come As You Are Jasmine 932G, shown by Kevin Granger, Come As You Are. City View 309A, Boss Lady 54G, shown by Addison Barnett from City View Simmentals. And Double Bar D Morgan 430G, shown by Rael Kazmar from Longview Angus.
Moving into this class of Simmental heifers, I'm going to start with this black Simmental heifer. She really strikes you hard when she walks in the ring. She's smooth-fronted. She moves like a cat. She's just as thick as the heifers below her when you get behind her. She's soft-sided, got great hair coat. I think she wins the class pretty easily. Moving into second, red heifer that's pretty similar in her makeup. She's maybe not as sweet through the front end, but still a pretty fantastic, thick, high-volume heifer calf that deserves to be second. Third place, maybe just not as long spined as the heifer calves above her, but just as thick and just as much volume. Maybe free her up in her movement a little bit, but overall, very strong class of Simmental heifer calves.
So first place goes to Double Bar D Morgan 430G, shown by Rael Kazmar from Longview Angus. Second place goes to Come As You Are Jasmine 932G, shown by Kevin Granger, Come As You Are. And third place to City View 309A, Boss Lady 54G, shown by Addison Barnett from City View Simmentals. In our Simmental Junior Bred class, we have HFL Emma 8003F. shown by Kate Nielsen from the Longview Angus, and City View Nordica 5F, shown by Addison Barnett from City View Zemmentals. Kate Nielsen? Candace. Kate Nielsen?
Start this class of bred Semmentals with a female that I think's got a lot of good qualities. She's thick. She's got a lot of capacity. She's got some rib shape. I kind of like her a little more level over her hooks and her pins. Her tail head's tucked in a little nicer than the heifer in second. And yeah, very functional bred heifer. Heifer in second place, really have to admire how clean she is through the front end. She's got just as much thickness. Maybe not the rib shape as the heifer above her, and like I said, let's tuck that tail head in. But both heifers are very good, very structurally correct bred heifers. So we'll see them back in the championship class.
So first place in that class goes to City View Nordica 5F, shown by Addison Barnett from City View Semmentals, and second place going to HFL Emma 8003F, shown by Kate Nielsen from Longview Angus. And now in the South Ring is the overall champion female for the Simmental Junior Show.
Okay, we got a really great set of Simmental females out here. I'm pretty confident with what I'm going to do here with the champion and reserve. They exhibit what I think the Simmental breed is about: power, maternal qualities, and thickness. So with that, I'm going to go select champion and reserve.
So your overall champion Simmental Junior Female goes to Double Bar D Morgan 430G, shown by Rael Casmar from Longview Angus. And reserve went to Come As You Are Jasmine 932G, shown by Kevin Granger, Come As You Are. Congratulations.